needles. We never change stitches from one needle to the other unless we have a special circumstance where we have to do that because of the chart or manipulations of the stitches. But in the basic knitting, we always stay on the same needle. So I'm going to get the other end of my needle with the silver tips to knit with. And so I'm going to bring that around, and I'm going to knit the first round of the foot, first part of the round of the foot with the green yarn, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. I'm just going to knit across the stitches that are on this needle. Okay, so I've done half of the round of the first toe. Now I just push that out of the way, and I'm up to the second toe. And now I'll join on a new color for that, and I'll use yellow for that instead of green, so you'll be able to see again. Just to see clearly that I'm actually joining a separate ball of yarn, completely separate ball of yarn to each one. As I said, if you've got one big ball of yarn, if it's a center pull ball, you can pull from the inside of the outside, and then you'll know that you'll be coming to the center when you get finished with both socks. So continuing to work with my silver tipped needles, because though it's the same side, I'm on the first side of both toes. I've done side one of toe one, now I'm doing side one of toe two. With my second ball of yarn, I'm going to knit across these stitches. All right, so here you can see that I've knit across both of my toes, the first one with the first ball of yarn and the second with the second ball of yarn. So now I've just pulled my needle through, the one with the silver tips, the one I've been working on. I pull it through so that all of those stitches I've just knitted are hanging on the cable between the two needles, and I'm done with that side. So what I will do, is tucking in my tails because they're ugly, is I'll flip the whole piece over, and now I will pick up my other needle, and I have a needle on this side that has a red cable and gold tips, so I can make sure that I'm picking up both ends of the same needle. Of course, you can do that even if your needles look identical, but if you have a different color or something, it might be a little bit easier to tell what's going on. And now I'm working on the other side of both of the socks. So I'm going to just continue. I'm on the back of sock 2 now. And I just work across with that same yarn. And so I've gone across here, and now you can see that I've gone all the way around on this second toe, because you can see that contrasting color that I changed to is all the way around. So I've finished one round on the second toe. So now I'm going to slide over, and I'm going to begin working on the first toe again, and I go back to that first ball of yarn that I attached to that toe, and now I'll knit across the second half of the first toe. And now I'm just going to finish going across here. And I finished the round on the first toe, and you can see that the new color goes all the way around that. So if I pull them both to the center of the two needles again, and so they're just on the cables, you can see that I've got 2 toes, and I've done a round of each toe, each with its own ball of yarn. And that's all there is to it. You just keep going from one side to the next, but each toe has its own ball of yarn attached, and that's what makes it 2 separate socks that you're knitting, because you're using a separate ball of yarn for each one. They stay completely separate.